Hello, good morning folks, this is the headbanging Zulu here. I keep feeling stupid for saying that, because who else is it going to be? It's not going to be anybody else, is it? It's just me. I've just received a load of stuff through the post literally about 5 minutes ago, and I wasn't going to do this video today, because the stuff's not really that special, but something is special and I wanted to share it with you. The first thing was I bought to treat myself to 4 CDs because they were cheap. 4 of them are replacements. The first one I got, you may recognise this one. This is the first Whitesnake release, and this is not the first. I'll rephrase that. This is probably a remaster. Yes, it is a remaster of the first Whitesnake release. This is one of my favourites. For the simple reason is he had Bernie Marsden on the guitar, phenomenal guitarist, and John Lord, he sort of replaced the current keyboardist by the name of Schmolly, I believe, and John Lord stepped in, and it's just a great album. It's got some really killer songs on it as well, and what else do you want to say about it? It's brilliant. Anything with John Lord and David Coverdale is going to be absolutely brilliant on it, and it's a phenomenal album. And it was going for such a cheap price, I thought I'd pick it up for the collection. I'm pretty sure I may have it actually on vinyl or some format, but the price it was going, I don't think anybody spotted it. But you get a really excuse me. It's right, don't panic folks, I'm healthy, it's not that. But yeah, you get a really good quality booklet with it. I've just read the text, but you get a picture of the band there. I think you'd like this, Greg. And it's just amazing. Because apparently that was one of the reasons why, it said on this, I'm not that clever, why Coverdale bailed out of Purple. We all know the story, but apparently he felt when he was with Whitesnake he could actually sing, whereas when he was with Purple he was screaming all the time. Really interesting story, but that's just really nice, good quality booklet. You can't beat it, and there's your lyric sheet. That was my first acquisition, but it was just such a cheap price. I've been doing a lot of watching on YouTube with Bernie Marsden, and the bloke's a genius. He's a very good guitarist, and he's a very good songwriter as well. And so I saw this one and I thought I'd buy this one, but I was sort of watching the stuff on YouTube in preparation for getting this CD. But yeah, it's very cheap. Now the next 4 is my favourite bands of all time. Basically, a couple of them I've owned in the past. And I went through the Judas Priest collection the other day for a forthcoming video project, and I realised I've got some gaps. And again, these were so much cheaper than buying them in my local store. I saved about a £5. And that's what a good tub of good quality ice cream, Greg. So I had to take that into consideration when I bought these CDs. The first one is all remastered, by the way. They're not originals, and I'm aware of that. That's Judas Priest, Point of 8 entry. That's not even the original cover. That's the remastered cover as well. Like this album, it's got some great songs on it. Desert Plains I love, but a lot of people hate. Heading Out to the Highway is good. And Solo Angels and all that stuff. Some of the people I know never liked that. They thought it was a mediocre album, but I thought it was actually quite good. It's not their best. That's coming up in a minute. Second best, but I like it. That's the main thing. The next one is another remastered album. This is this one, and Sin After Sin. What you doing, Steve? Good album. It's got a great version of Diamonds and Rust on it, and Sinners. Great album this is. Dissident Aggressor, that's a good track. It's got Jawbreaker live on the bonus tracks. I'm not going behind how that song was written on this channel, but that's, it makes me cringe when I hear it. But if you know the reasoning behind it, you'll understand what I'm getting at. But yeah, it's a decent Priest album. Great. Now, hang on a sec. Yeah, the next one is this album, remastered again. This is Vendors of the Faith. This is an essential Judas Priest album, must go in the collection. It's got Free Will Burning on, that Jawbreaker up, that's on it again. Centennial, Some Heads Are Gonna Roll, that's a really good album, definitely in the top 4 or maybe 5 Judas Priest albums. But it's just that Jawbreaker, I sort of get this horrible, Metal Mickey knows what I'm on about, that horrible thing in the back of me head when I listen to that song. But that's the track listed, and I've saved the best to last, because arguably if you're looking at top Priest albums of all time, this one's on many people's number 1, and I can't argue with that. It's got all my favourite tracks on it. Beyond the Realms of Death, that is my favourite Priest track. It's got Better You Than Better By Me, and if you know, that got me into trouble in Arizona, I think it was in the early 80s. Not a bad track on this CD, but it's not my favourite Judas Priest CD. No. If you've been watching this channel, it's I Love Sad Wings of Destiny. That happens to be my favourite Judas Priest album. It was a complete game changer. Plus, I just love it. There's nothing wrong. So we'll agree to argue over that. I'm sure Greg will have something to say. And Scott, I'd love to hear what your best Priest album is, mate. Please answer below the comments. But to me, Sad Wings of Destiny will always be my favourite Priest album. I'm not going to talk about Painkiller, but that's really high up, as you can imagine. But now, this is why I'm making the video, not to show you. This is what I wanted to show you. This is a book I bought. It cost me £3. Now, I had to sift through it. It took me 10 minutes. So, when you buy a who's who of heavy metal, I find they're pretty boring, because you get loads of heavy metal bands. The one I'm after is the Martin Popoff one, because if you'd asked me how many new Wobbum bands, I would have said about 400, and I was wrong. Apparently there's close to 900, and I want to get that book where they're all listed. It's 850 or 900, and there's a book where they're all listed, and it shocked me. But I've got this book, and it's the Guinness Who's Who of Heavy Metal. And I only paid about £3 for it. Now, why has it shocked the Zulu? Well, mentioned is this band, Cancer, my friend's band. I just want to prove it to you. She's got like a death metal. She's got Carcass, obviously, Candlemass, and I expect them bands to be listed because they're sort of like, But I was quite surprised when I'll show it there. You won't see it because of the glare. I apologise. There's my friend's band, and this band emerged from, I'll say it because it's common knowledge, Telford in Shropshire, it's where I live, and quickly established themselves as the UK's leading death metal exponents. Definitely agree with that. To the glory end saw the trio of John Walker, Ian Buchanan, Cole Stokes adopt a traditional death metal sound with suitable, gory and offensive imagery. Yeah, it was quite strong for the time. But yeah, I'll carry on. But the addition of American guitarist James Murphy, ex-Death and Obituary, expanded both Cancer's live sound and their approach to songwriting. The Scott Burns produced Death Shall Rise, and so on and so on and so on. And I was quite proud of that, seeing something where I come from mentioned in a book like this. And there's all the other bands as well. A lot of the bands you'd obviously expect to be there, like Cradle of Filth. Sorry, not my cup of tea. Let's just have a look at we'll take Judas Priest as we've been talking about them. If I can find it. No, hang on a minute. It's got one of Scott's favourite bands. Yeah, Mama Boys. The three McManus brothers began their musical careers, Scott, as folk musicians. playing the local dance halls and club circuit in the native Northern Ireland. Yeah, that's where my uncle came from. He came from Ballyeaston, one of the Ballys, and he got a nice one of Manor War as well. And it tells you how all the bands have been formed, as I would expect in a book like this. But yeah, it's just nice to see. Oh yeah, unreal. Yeah, GBH, one of my favourite bands as well. They're a punk band, formerly known as Charge. GBH truncating the name by release of the 1986. Oh no, it's GBH again. The band originated as his original impetus of the punk movement was petering out in the 1980s. The Exploited and Discharged among the peer group. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, excuse me, to hear Diplomatic Immunity, that to me, I probably have got it now, but that's just a cracking song. But yeah, it's just amazing. Lita Ford's in it. I expect her to be in it. The Flots are in it as well. Yeah, Fate's Warning. All the bands you expect to be in it are in it. But I was just shocked when I saw that one. But anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed me rabbiting on again. And you look after yourselves. I know the world's, we're in a dark place at the moment, but I hope everybody's okay. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. See ya.